Finishing a living Pokédex was very satisfying and really fun. It gave me a new appreciation for the game. The variety of ways to obtain Pokémon, how robust the core concept was from the start, and how the game aged exceptionally well, even after several decades. It was so much fun, actually, that I want to do another one. If you don't know what a living Pokédex is, the goal is not to just fully complete your Pokédex, but to possess every single Pokémon in the game. I made a video on how I approached getting a Living Dex in Pokémon Red and Blue. Spoiler, it led to me building a website. The links for both the video and the website are available in the description. So, what game should we go for now? How about the next entry in the series, Pokémon Yellow version Special Pikachu Edition? Or just Pokémon Yellow is fine. Funnily enough, Pokémon Yellow is not a new game, but an upgrade of Pokémon Red and Blue, which were themselves an upgrade of the original Pocket Monster games. See, the original Pokémon games, Pocket Monster Red and Green, were released February 27th, 1996 in Japan, with an upgraded Blue version releasing on October 15th, 1996. This latter version would serve as the basis for Pokémon Red and Blue, which released September 28, 1998 in North America and 1 year later in Europe on October 5, 1999. After Pokémon became an international smash hit, thanks in part to the anime adaptation, a special edition of the game based on said anime was released between 1998 and 2000. It is common practice for Japanese games to be released several times with special editions, and still happens to this day. You can see it with games like Animal Crossing, originally a Nintendo 64 game, the Persona series, or every fighting game ever. So, what is different between Pokémon Red and Blue and Pokémon Yellow? Well, something you will notice right away are the Pokémon sprites. They finally look like something now. Most of them, at least. They resemble their current design. Instead of being... What? What is this? And that? And that's just comparing to Red and Blue. Pocket Monster's design were even worse. Note that this only affects the front sprites, so the backs still look weird. Looking at you, Rattata. Also, as this version was based on the anime, a lot of characters were modified to fit their anime counterpart. Some trainers have a different design, like Brock, Misty, or the Rival. Characters from the anime make an appearance, such as Jessie and James, Nurse Joy and her Chansey, and Officer Jenny, and the Pokémon used are different. Giovanni now has his Persian, and several gym leaders have their team changed as well. On the gameplay side, your starter is now, of course, Pikachu. You cannot choose any other Pokémon. And your rival now starts with an Eevee, whose evolution depends on how you fared during your first 2 fights. Finally, you have access to an exclusive surfing minigame on Route 19 called Pikachu's Beach. Except you don't. In the original version at least, as it required a special surfing Pikachu only obtainable through events or via Pokémon Stadium. Thankfully, this was changed in the Virtual Console release, but still, that was... stupid. But what about the important changes? The part that actually matters, the Pokémon. Well, there are 3 main differences in how Pokémon encounters and availability are handled. First, the Pokémon that you cannot obtain in Yellow version. Those are based off of the anime as well. Pikachu being a starter Pokémon, no other Pikachu or Raichu appear anywhere, and you can't evolve your starter. This is the Special Pikachu Edition, after all. Next, as Ash catches a Caterpie and Pidgey in Viridian Forest, both appear there, with Weedle now being unavailable. Then, Jesse and James's signature Pokémon, Ekans, Coughing, and Meowth, cannot be found. Finally, Jynx, Electabuzz, and Magmar are not available in Pokémon Yellow because well, I don't know why, but I'm sure there is a good reason. Next change, Red and Blue starter Pokémon. Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle are still available in-game, and given to you by specific trainers throughout the story. However, of the three, Bulbasaur is only given to you once you reach a certain friendship level with your Pikachu. Without going into details, Pokémon Yellow features a friendship system, which is more of a proof of concept that would be expanded upon in Gen 2. Basically, the more you have Pikachu in your team, the more he likes you. The more you suck at the game, the more he'll do this. Plus, there are a lot of fun, unique interactions in the game. After that, we have Pokémon Yellow's in-game trades. The Pokémon you receive are different from Red and Blue, 2 trades were removed, and Pokémon previously only available via in-game trade can now be encountered in the wild. Finally, Pokémon encounter rates saw some tweaks. I will not go through every single area in the game, but, to me, the changes look like the developers wanted to make rare encounters feel special. More rare Pokémon can appear, but at a lower rate, with common Pokémon being a lot more likely. The best example being Viridian Forest. Caterpie went from a 45% encounter rate to 55%, yet Metapod's rate was reduced from 40% to 20%, and both Pidgey and Pidgeotto can now appear at a rate of 24% and 1% respectively. So, now that we know the differences between Red and Blue and Yellow, how do those impact the Living Pokédex challenge? And most importantly, is one version better than the other? Well, most of the strategy we came up with does not change since the core game works the same. There are still unique save file choices, we still cannot get eggs, and there still are a lot of evolutions. One aspect that does change, however, is how starter Pokémon are handled. Because all 3 are available at some point in the game, we only need to play Pokémon Yellow 3 times, once for each evolution step. Good, right? Turns out we are still bottlenecked on playing the game 4 times, because of the fossil Pokémon and the evolutions. Plus, while we needed to start 9 save files to get all starters, you can trade them at the very beginning of the game, as soon as Oak's parcel is delivered. In Pokémon Yellow, you actually need to play through the game until at least Cerulean City while increasing Pikachu's friendship to be given the starters. Another aspect are the encounter rates. The changes introduced in Pokémon Yellow end up widening the gap between good and bad luck. The Living Pokédex challenge forces us to catch every single Pokémon, which means if any is rarer, the time spent finding it will be longer on average, since we have to look for it. In the Safari Zone, for example, Tauros goes from a 4% encounter rate to a 10% one, but we are still stuck with other Pokémon having a 4% encounter rate. Next to that, Dratini sees its rate lower from 25% to 20%, making it a bit harder to find, even with the inclusion of Dragonair with a 10% encounter rate. It sounds fantastic at first, before you realize it is only level 15 with an exclusive to Pokémon Yellow lowered catch rate. To add insult to injury, making common Pokémon even more common means we are less likely to encounter different types of Pokémon while looking for a rare one. In the new and improved Cerulean Cave, Golbat goes from a 20% chance to appear on floor 1 only, to a 40% chance on all floors. And by the way, Chansey's best encounter rate in the game goes from 10% to 5%. The changes to encounter rates can be an upgrade, if you are really lucky. But if I wanted the entire game experience to be based on luck, I would be going to the casino. Speaking of, the casino rewards in Pokémon Yellow cost the most. While both Scyther and Pinsir are available, they are more expensive than their red and blue counterparts, with 6,500 coins each, and Porygon is 9,999 coins, like red, as opposed to 6,500 in blue. Where things get really silly is Pokémon exclusivity. Instead of being the definitive Gen 1 Pokémon version, Yellow decides to set the stupidest of precedents for the series. Here is the list of Pokémon not available in Yellow version. The Beedrill line, Raichu, the Weezing line, Jinx, the Arbok line, Electabuzz, the Persian line, and Magmar. The first line consists of Pokémon catchable in either Pokémon Red or Blue, but the second and third line are ones obtainable in Red only or Blue only. Basically, not only you cannot complete your Pokédex with Yellow version alone, you cannot do it even if you play one of the other versions. Meaning you still need to play through both Red and Blue anyway. And having Magmar and Electabuzz be part of that list forces you to play the story until you get Surf, since you need to access Cinnabar Island and the Power Plant. This is dumb. As fun as the Living Pokédex challenge is, I will not be attempting it on Pokémon Yellow. It is strictly worse than doing it on either Red or Blue, and the exclusive Pokémon demand you play both versions on top of Yellow anyway. Plus, the game time will most likely be longer due to certain Pokémon requiring you to play a significant part of the story more than once. In the end, the most efficient place to get rare Pokémon is Red and Blue, as the changes were made without convenience in mind. It is not necessarily a bad thing, mind you, but our challenge suffers greatly because of it. If you wish to attempt a Living Pokédex challenge in Yellow, go for it. Keep in mind though, you are picking the most frustrating Gen 1 version. It remains a fantastic challenge, so good luck and have fun. In the meantime, I will look elsewhere and start preparing for the game I have been longing to complete a Living Dex in for quite some time.